A documentary about Beethoven by Kensley
and Alisyn McClure.
Beethoven was one of the greatest composers in history, but what most people don't know is he had a rough childhood and later on became deaf.
Ludwig van Beethoven was born in December of 1770 in Bonn, Germany.
At age 14, Beethoven was the pianist to the choir of Maximilian France.
The following piece is entitled Für Alisyn, an original composition by Beethoven.
Beethoven's mother died on July 17, 1787 in Bonn, Germany when he was almost 17.
On December 18, 1792, when Beethoven was about 22, his father passed away as well.
3 years later, Beethoven performed for the first time in public. This occurred in Vienna.
Then, in 1797, Beethoven contracted a serious illness which caused the loss of his hearing.
This image is the score of Ludwig van Beethoven's First Symphony.
In January of 1803, Ludwig became the composer of the Theater of Vienna.
Between June and October of the same year, he composed the Eroica Symphony.
Then, on August 6, 1803, he received a new piano as a gift. Like the pianos we have today, this allowed for larger intervals to be played.
In 1804, Ludwig's contract with the Theater of Vienna ends.
Later on, in 1818, Beethoven's deafness came to the point where he had to use a notebook and pencil to communicate.
In the time between December of 1826 and February of 1827, as Beethoven's health declined, he underwent multiple operations.
In the midst of all of this, Beethoven struggled with his deafness as a composer.
Despite his loss of hearing, Beethoven never ceased to compose some of history's greatest musical pieces.
In the making of his compositions, Beethoven used vibrations from the music to comprehend what was being played.
In honor of Beethoven, many stamps have been created, highlighting the important points of his life.
One of these including an image of him and his hearing aids.
After many accomplishments, Beethoven signed his name for the very last time.
At the age of 56, Beethoven's death occurred on March 26, 1827, at approximately 5:45 p.m. This was a heartbreaking announcement among thousands, including his family, friends, and viewers.
Three days later, Beethoven's funeral at Vienna had an attendance of over 20,000 people.
Despite the tragedy that was his deafness, Ludwig van Beethoven lived to be triumphant.